Have you ever seen an amazing flower pot that stopped you in your tracks? Ever wonder how it's made? Today, we'll show you exactly how to design your own stunning containers. Here are 5 tips you'll want to follow when you start to put plants together for your flower pots. So let's get started with the most important tip: pairing plants that like the same growing conditions. That means you'll want to select a group of plants that all like similar amounts of sun or shade and moisture. For instance, in this recipe called Ireland, we've combined Goldilocks Rocks Bidens, Superbells Over Easy Calibrachoa, and Luscious Basket Tangiglow Lantana. All 3 like to grow in full sun and prefer if the soil dries down a bit before you water it again. They work especially well in hanging baskets or porous containers like unglazed terracotta because those kinds of containers tend not to hold moisture as long. It gives the roots some breathing room between waterings. The opposite is true with our Eclipse of the Sun recipe. Coleus, Impatiens, and Sweet Potato Vine all like the soil to stay nice and moist. Plus, they benefit from some shade, so all 3 tend to grow well together. The second tip can be the toughest to master, but once you do, your containers will look more balanced and you won't need to worry about any one plant taking over the whole pot. Some plants are naturally more vigorous than others. That means they grow faster and get big quickly, as opposed to plants that mature more slowly. A classic example is Supertunia Vista petunias. These super vigorous plants grow very quickly compared to most annuals. If you pair them with slow growers, they could easily take over and require pruning to keep them in check. But if you pair these same petunias with other vigorous plants like coffee cups, colocasia, the container looks balanced and no one plant becomes dominant. Look for clues about a plant's vigor in the description. Words like vigorous and grows quickly mean it will need to be paired with other fast-growing plants that can keep up. When you find a set of plants that play well together in your containers, take a picture or write it down so you can repeat it again next year, maybe in a new color. Container recipes that include a mix of plants with different textures, shapes, and sizes tend to look more interesting than if all the plants are similar. In our Blossom House recipe, there are spiky and rounded textures. Some flowers are tubular, others are circular. The fireworks grass in the back of the container will grow much taller through the season, while the Supertunia Mini Vista Yellow Petunia will trail over the side. All of these things make for an interesting combination. Do you ever end up with too many or too few plants for your container? Here's how to know how many to buy. The determining factors are how large your container is, how large the plants will grow, how quickly you want the container to look full. Generally, a 12-inch container measured across the rim can hold 3 to 4 Proven Winners grande-sized plants. If the plants you choose are extra vigorous, like Supertunia Vista petunias, err on the side of fewer plants. When you're at the store, group the plants together in your cart to get a good visual of whether you'll need fewer or more. That brings us to our final tip. Copy someone else's great ideas. A great place to start when you're figuring out which plants to pair together is our Container Garden recipe search tool on provenwinners.com. It lets you search by sun or shade needs, color, container shape, and more, or you can use it to find plants that pair well with your favorites. Click to a recipe you like and you'll find the plant list, how many of each plant you'll need, and how to arrange them in the pot. From there, you can save or print the recipes to bring to the store with you. Your local garden centers are a great source of inspiration too. Check out the containers they have on display to see which colors and combinations might look nice in your own garden. Their staff will be happy to help you find exactly what you need to pull off your best containers yet. Follow these 5 tips and you'll be designing containers like a pro.